After all that Caris has been through this year between being traded and surgery, how did it feel for you as a coach to see him hit such a huge shot for your team tonight?
Yeah, very big shot. His legs are getting under him more and more every day. He's feeling better, more comfortable every day, learning the offensive plays and what we're trying to do out there on the court. And even before that big shot, I think there was a stretch there where our bigs were setting really good screens, for our guards flying off things and Caris being one of them. So very big shot there late.
Scott Atkins.
Nate, what do you think Ed's been able to kind of take off here over this last month?
He really hangs in there. His opportunities have, been here and there throughout the season, that he went from starting to, coming off the bench quick with TJ McConnell, like a sixth and seventh man. He hasn't played. So he's had a lot of ups and downs through playing time, and he's really hung in there. He hasn't complained about a thing. He's really tough. And tonight, the big lift that he provided there, and you could see the bench was excited for him as well.
Christos.
Coach, what was the most impressive part on Caris LeVert game tonight, and what Edmond Sumner brought in the team, especially in the fourth quarter?
Well, we could start with Edmond. Like I mentioned, man, he was really flying around out there. You can really throw it ahead to Ed. He gets to the corners, he gets to the wings. He really comes off those screens with great pace, and he hit a bunch of big shots there in a row. That was a big run. A game of momentum. That's a big positive there in that stretch of the game. And then for Caris, as we mentioned, he can handle. He can come off some pin downs, come off some staggers. He's got a lot of different things to his game that he can go to. And I liked him. I liked both those guys on the defensive end as well.
Nathan Aston.
Hey, Coach, when you're up against a team like the Pistons who rely on the drive and kick, but yet things aren't going in their favor, for you, what was the most important part about closing out on the shooters who were at the three-point line?
Yeah. First of all, knowing when to stay home, on those shooters. When Miles has the rim there, if there's some downhill activity coming his way and the guard is pursuing the ball and Miles is there at the rim, good things can happen. So you have to know when to collapse and when to stay home on those shooters. Detroit is a very good cutting team. You turn your head for a second there and one guy will cut and the next guy will fly to replace his spot. So just the readiness, in the half court, in their half court offensive movement.
Anything else for Coach? All righty. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. All right, Pat, start it off, please.
Caris, this felt like your first big signature moment in a Pacer uniform. What did it mean to you to be so impactful on a game that you guys really needed like tonight?
It was huge. The main thing for me is just getting a win. And we did that tonight. And, I'm proud of the way that we fought, even though we didn't necessarily play the best. We still fought through it, got stops when we needed it, and got the win. And, every win is important for us right now as we're trying to make the playoffs.
Scott.
Yeah, Caris, among the things that you missed while being out, is it one of those signature key moments like that you just can't replicate anywhere else?
For sure, absolutely. It's hard to replicate anything, about a real NBA game. You can run as many sprints as you want. You can ride the bike as long as you want. But, when you're running up and down, running off of screens, guarding people, you can't replicate that. So, when you're training, you try to go as hard as you can. And I think, the coaches and the trainers have really done a great job here, really preparing me to get ready for games.
Nathan.
Hey, Caris, given that you stated that the team is trying to make the playoffs, are you treating every game as if it's like a game 7? And what is the mentality so far of the team just with 30-plus games remaining left in the second half of the season?
I think for us, just playing great defense. I don't know if Miles scored tonight, but he was very instrumental in getting stops down the stretch defensively. And I don't know if I've, played with a teammate who is so selfless. You know what I mean? Because that's not easy to do when you're not really taking a lot of shots offensively. To come out here and play as well as he did defensively, especially down the stretch, getting stops, not pouting, not sulking, not showing it at all. And that's big time for him, and he deserves all the defensive accolades that he's going to get for sure.
Tony East.
Caris, after all you've been through this year between the trade and surgery, how did it feel to just have a really solid game and hit a dagger for your new team at home in front of some fans?
It felt big. It felt huge. Like I said, it was huge to get the win tonight, especially when the game was up in the air down the stretch. I love fourth quarters. I love big moments. So I feel like I let one, even though we won in Miami, I let one slip out of my hands. So it was good to get this one back, especially at home in front of these great fans.
Pat.
I think Pacers fans can probably already tell that you're an unselfish type of player, but we've heard both Domantas and Miles say recently that they've told you, we need you to be more aggressive, look for your own shot more often. How challenging is that to do when you're trying to fit into a new team? And do you feel like a night like tonight is maybe heeding their advice a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel like I've been aggressive. It's just, it's hard when you're out 2.5, 2 months, thrown right into the fire. Not only into the fire, but into a new team, new system, new coaches, new teammates. So I felt like I've tried to be aggressive, from day one, and, it takes time. It's not gonna, work from day one, and I'm still not where I'm going to be. But tonight was definitely a great stepping stone to get in that direction for sure.
Darrell Wells.
Hey, what's going on, Caris? Speaking of that dagger to close the game out, once you hit the step back and you got your space, when did you know that shot was going in?
I had confidence as soon as I touched the ball. I knew I was going to make a play. I had Josh Jackson in the closeout, so it was up to me to make the play. Malcolm made a great pass off the pick and roll, so I knew when it left my hands, it felt good, and it went down for me.
Chris Rose.
Hello, Caris. Congratulations on the win. How big confidence boost is that performance for you, and do you feel like one of the leaders of this team on the court?
I didn't hear your first question. What did you say?
How big boost you get from your performance tonight?
How big of a rush did I get from my performance?
How big boost?
Oh, how big of a boost? I feel like it helped us win, but everybody on the team made great strides. Edmond played huge for us tonight down the stretch. I think he had like 10 straight points. Like I said, Miles played great defensively. Malcolm was steady all night. Domantas making great decisions all night as well. With so much attention on him. So I feel like everybody, contributed in their own ways for sure.
Pat, go ahead.
We've heard other guys talk about the need to start stringing together some wins. You've now won 3 of 4. You've got a couple more on the road coming up, and I know it's been a very road-heavy month. But do you feel like this is an opportunity maybe to start doing some of that, stringing together wins?
For sure. Absolutely. We feel like we let one slip away in Milwaukee. We didn't play as well as we wanted to, even though it was a back-to-back. Coach came in the locker room and immediately talked to us about, wanting more and not settling. And I feel like tonight we were a little more greedy, and we got to continue that with these next two, road games with Dallas and Washington. And we just have to go out there and play our brand of basketball, play great defensively, and I think it'll take care of itself.
All right, Caris, we're all set. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate it.
Edmond, the way you guys won this game might be best described as the boost you were able to give the team in the fourth quarter and then that final shot that Caris hit. But for you, what was the key to being so impactful when things were, looking a little bit dicey at times in the fourth?
We always try to impact the game on the defensive end. I feel like I was doing well. The defensive end was kind of, giving me confidence on the offensive end. And saw a few shots go in. TJ was setting me up well. Once you see a few go in, I'm here for a reason, so my confidence is when skyrocketed.
Christos, go ahead.
Hello, Edmond. This game was the best game of your season so far with the Pacers.
What was the question?
This game the best game of the season for you so far?
Maybe offensively. I don't really care about the performance. I'm just happy we got the win. I feel like I have a lot of good games. That necessarily doesn't mean I score a lot of points. I'm not a guy that's just relies on offense. I can impact the game on the defensive end. So if you're just referring to me scoring 18 points, that might have been the most points I've scored this season. But I feel like I play better games, impacting both sides.
Scott.
And do you feel like you're starting to get in a groove, both in terms of knowing your role, your spot in the rotation, and now starting to thrive a little bit from that?
Yeah, something I feel like I always lacked, just the consistent minutes. Me getting these consistent minutes has led me to adapt, and I'm very comfortable now. And I feel like that's all I was really lacking, just being comfortable out there, letting the game come to me. So me constantly getting those rotational minutes, I know what I got to bring to the table. I'm impacting it on the defensive end, and I get my opportunities being aggressive offensively. But my main things right now is making sure I'm getting out the guys defensively.
Pat?
I know it's just one game, but with the challenges you guys have had lately at home, does a win like this feel more significant considering how you're going to need to probably play at home to have the type of season you want to have as a team this year?
Right. We always want to win at home. That's something we harp on every year, is protecting our home court. So for us to get this win, no matter if it's about 1, 2, or 3 points, man, it's big for us. And we definitely want to finish strong.
Brendan.
Hey, Ed, with the way the Pacers have kind of stumbled a little bit in the fourth quarter here and there, how big was closing out a close game like this?
It's definitely big. We kind of just want to keep taking step by step, getting better each and every game. Obviously, fourth quarter has been a problem for us. I feel like our minds are right. We're heading in the right direction. So we just want to keep building from this and just keep elevating.
Scott.
Add a little something extra special to do it against your hometown team?
Yeah, definitely, though, to do that against the Pistons, man. I grew up a Pistons fan. Obviously, I'm from Detroit. So, I mean, it definitely is special.
Any other thoughts tonight? All right. Thanks, Edmond. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Edmond.